Hello and welcome. Have you ever just stopped and wondered, am I actually moving forward in my life? It's a huge question, and I think we all ask it sometimes. Well, today, we're going to dig into a few simple ways to figure that out. Think of it like this. You wouldn't get in your car for a long road trip without a map or a GPS, right? I mean, you need to know where you're going. Life is a lot like that. We all need some kind of map to see where we're headed and to know if we're on the right path. So that's the big question, isn't it? A GPS for your life doesn't exactly come in a box from a store. You have to build it yourself. So how do we even start? Well, let's explore 3 really simple but super powerful tools that can help you create your very own map. Okay, before any trip, what's the first thing you do? You pack. And what's the #1 rule of packing? You put the big, important stuff in first. It's exactly the same with life. We have to figure out our big priorities before we can even think about planning the route. To really get this idea, let's use a fantastic analogy. It's called the jar of life, and honestly, it is such a great way to see what really matters. So, imagine your life is an empty jar. The golf balls, those are your non-negotiables. Your family, your health, your closest friends, your passions. They absolutely have to go in first. Next are the pebbles, other important things like your job or your house. Then you pour in the sand, which is, well, it's all the small stuff. And the beer? That's a fun little reminder that there should always be time for friends. But here's the real lesson. If you fill the jar with sand first, those big, important golf balls will never, ever fit. All right, so now you know your golf balls. You figured out what's most important. Now it's time to actually start drawing that map. And for this, we're going to borrow a really cool tool from the business world that works perfectly for our personal lives too. It's called a SWOT analysis, and SWOT just stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's just a simple way to look at a situation. So strengths and weaknesses are internal. They're about you. Opportunities and threats, those are external. They're about what's happening out there in the world. Let's look at a real-life example. A student named Christina wants to open a hotel. You can see her strength is that her city has lots of tourists, but her weakness, she doesn't have the money to start. The opportunity is that there's high demand, but the threat is that someone else could have the same idea and start first. See how laying it all out in a simple chart like this makes everything so much clearer? You can do this for any goal you have. So whether you're dreaming up a small business like a little coffee shop, or you're thinking about your next big move in life like a game of chess, having a plan, a strategy is everything. It's what turns a wish into something that could actually happen. Okay, so we've got our priorities, and we've got a map. The third tool is something you're using right now, your words. The way we talk about the future, the language we choose, it actually has the power to shape it. Let's call it the language of what if. In English, we have special grammar just for this. For things that are real and possible, we use the first conditional. Think, if I save money, I will travel. See? It's a real plan. But for those big, wild dreams or things that are pretty unlikely, we use the second conditional. This is where we get to let our imaginations run wild. Here is a perfect example from a student named Silmara. She says, if I won the lottery, I'd pay for this trip. She knows winning the lottery probably isn't going to happen, right? So she uses the second conditional. It's the language we use for dreaming, and dreaming is such an important part of making a plan. But what about the past? That what-if question is also amazing for looking back and reflecting, and that's where the third conditional comes in. We use it to imagine how the past could have been different, which is a really powerful way to learn from our own journey. And this is so powerful. Listen to this really honest thought from a student named Anderson. He says, if I had separated some time earlier to study, I would have enjoyed more opportunities in my life. You see, this isn't about feeling bad or having regrets. It's about understanding. This kind of grammar helps him connect what he did in the past to the results, and that is absolutely essential for planning a better future. So, we've walked through 3 incredible tools, one for your priorities, one for your strategy, and one for your language. And now, well, now is your turn. Here it is, your personal toolkit. First, figure out your golf balls, what really truly matters to you. Second, try making a simple SWOT analysis for one of your goals. And third, start playing with the language of what if, to dream about your future and learn from your past. So let's end with this, a question that uses the exact grammar we just talked about. It's not about what you will do, but what you would do. It's an invitation to dream a little, to think about your priorities, and to start planning right now. Thanks for joining me.